Our next speaker is Michael Lwoyelo, a director at Sanergy. Michael, could I ask you to share your screen and bring up your presentation there? So Sanergy provide sanitation solutions in urban slums, and as part of their model, they are treating and converting waste to fertiliser and animal feed. Michael, over to you. Brilliant.
Hi, Evan, can you see my screen?
Just go into presenter mode.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, because of network issues, I'll go off video.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Perfect. Now we can see your slides.
Fantastic. Cool. Hi guys, Michael here from Sanergy. Sanergy are based in Nairobi, in Kenya, and we view ourselves as a waste management company first. So a solution for booming cities, with regards to helping them resolve waste management issues. Now, because we are joining you guys today, basically means that one of the solutions we use is around insects and using that to manage waste. So I'll take you guys through what we do and make it a very interactive session. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. So what it is that cities around the world generate close to 1 billion tons of waste every year. And what is striking about this is that 90% of it is not treated, which is significant. So if you walk around communities, especially in the developing world like Kenya, you will see mounds of waste in certain areas. And this just highlights this issue. Now, what's even worse is that it's predicted that in the next by 2050, the amount of urbanization that we have around the world will have tripled. So right now we have about 1 billion people living in slums around the world, and that is projected to increase to about 3 billion people by 2050. So what we've realized is that just a second. So what we've realized is that in Kenya, the mounds that I was talking about is what you're seeing in the picture at the bottom. So in Nairobi, we generate about 2,000 tons of organic waste every day, and some of it ends up in those landfills that you're seeing to the bottom left. That is a combination of both sanitation and organic waste in certain instances, especially sanitation waste that is generated through open defecation. So what this then does is that it leads to a rise in greenhouse gas emissions, leads to increased water pollution, as well as growing health risks. And on the agricultural side, because of increase in population, we are then having an increase in agricultural activities, and especially in countries where we don't have a winter, especially a majority of the countries in Africa, where land is actually tilled year in, year out, all year round. The land doesn't actually get time to rest, which means that the organic matter in the soil really goes down significantly. Now, also another problem is that as populations increase, the need to feed these populations also goes up, and that's why the demand for livestock also increases, which means that the demand for quality proteins to feed animals also increases. All of which basically leads to reduced incomes, loss of forests through deforestation, and also overfishing, because majority of the animal-based proteins that is fed to animals actually comes from fishing. So at Sanergy, what we do is we employ a circular economy approach. So basically, we use circularity to solve problems in waste management. we solve problems with waste management and then use circularity to solve problems in agriculture. Yeah? So here's what I mean. We collect all forms of urban waste, including sanitation waste. So right now we are collecting about 100 tons per day in Nairobi. And then we contain, transport, and then we treat and repurpose that into 3 main products. So the first one is we use BSF, like majority of the speakers have spoken today, to basically digest some of this waste. So the interesting thing about BSF is that literally within 10 days you can reduce the mass of waste by 70%. Yeah. So if you had 100 tons of waste coming in, within 10 days, you're literally at 30 tons, which is, so they're very, very efficient bioconverters of waste. Yeah. And then the residue that comes out of that, we then compost it using thermophilic composting into organic fertilizer that we sell across the country. So more than majority of the arable land in Kenya right now, which is about 25 out of the 47 counties, we're already present in with regards to distribution of organic fertilizer. Yeah? And then the last one is some of that residue is also converted into biomass briquettes. And in a country like Kenya, where the cost of energy is very high, briquettes become very, very useful for us because they're basically 4 times cheaper than the cost of cost of power from the grid, especially when you're looking at heating applications for industrial uses. So we operate one of the largest organic recycling facilities in sub-Saharan Africa. So right now we have an installed capacity to process 70,000 tons of waste every year, which makes us pretty much the biggest in East and Central Africa. Yeah. So what you're seeing to the right are pictures of our facility with the grow rooms that you're seeing that are dome shaped, basically where we do BSF farming. So that's where the larvae feeds on the waste. And then at the back is where we do BSF processing. So that is washing, drying, to be able to achieve the requisite parameters and specifications for sale that are required. So speaking about our products, again, just going back into BSF, very effective bioconverter, converts waste very, very quickly, drops it by 70% across 10 days. Spoke about composting. That's what you're seeing, the picture bottom left. That's where what you're seeing is window turner technology. The window turner is used to ensure that we have enough aeration and the right levels of moisture by addition of water in a targeted way to the compost, to just make sure that you're managing it correctly to achieve the requisite specifications. Yeah, and bottom right is our briquette manufacturing process. This is why we manufacture the biomass briquettes out of the residue that we use internally for BSF processing, that is heating and drying, as well as making sure that we're achieving the required warm and humid climatic conditions that are required for BSF rearing, as well as distribution to our partners around Nairobi, who also require BSF for their own heating applications. Sorry, also require briquettes for their own heating applications. So all our products, so that is BSF, organic fertilizer, and briquettes, they're all certified by the Kenya Bureau of Standards, which means that we are one on the production side, demonstrating our ability to be consistent and our ability to be able to hit the specifications that are required for distribution. But as well for mass market, which means that we're able to basically distribute our product into the mass market. Yeah. So we of course do extensive testing with both our internal and external labs that are used to ensure that whatever specifications you're testing are actually calibrated and fit within the requisite specifications for distribution. It's a picture of biomass briquettes for those who are interested, although I realize I'm speaking to guys more interested in insects. But anyway, next, this is how we package our product. So Kuza Pro is our brand name for a BSF product. As you can see, crude protein of up to 40%, also up to 40% fat. Very nice product, distributed across feed millers in Nairobi and the rest of the country. Majority of the people using the product like it because of its consistency in moisture content, lack of impurities as well, compared to the alternative, which is sardines, basically fished from Lake Victoria, that comes with all manner of things with regards to stones and impurities that there may be inside that protein, as well as local supply chains for fish meal do not have the capability to hit the consistent levels of moisture that we're able to hit from our production facility. So basically, we are marketing our Kuza Pro, our BSF product, at a quality advantage compared to other fish meals that we have, other protein sources that feed millers have available to them. And then what you're seeing on the right-hand side is a packaging for organic fertilizer called Evergrow. And just to jump to the next slide, farmers using Evergrow across majority of the arable land in Kenya are seeing significant increases in yield. So as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, majority of soils in Kenya are very low in organic matter. So addition of this basically increases the efficacy of the fertilizer treatment, and farmers are seeing up to 30% increase in yield. Yeah. So if someone was doing tomatoes or watermelons or cucumbers or any other form of horticultural crops, if they were doing 100 crates per acre, they start doing 130 crates per acre due to addition of our organic fertilizer, which is significant. And something else to note is we have also received permission to distribute a variant of Evergrow called Evergrow Gold into the certified organic market in Europe, the US, and Japan. So basically, this is for farmers who are growing organic produce for export into those certified organic markets. Yeah, just goes to show how through circularity you can turn waste into something that is valuable beyond the borders of Nairobi. So left, you're seeing a farmer holding eggs, again using feed that has been supplemented with Kuza Pro, insect-based protein. So farmers say that eggs laid from chicken that have eaten from BSF made feed actually taste sweeter and have a darker yolk than the normal eggs. Well, this is very much anecdotal information, but just goes to show that BSF can actually compete with regards to quality versus fish meal or any other protein that feed millers use to blend in and make the feed for animals. So as I said, right now we are the biggest in Eastern Central Africa, operating from just outside Nairobi. Capacity to treat 72,000 tons of organic waste every year. Capacity to produce 3,600 tons of insect-based protein per year, as well as 7,200 tons of organic fertilizer every single year, with just under 10,000 tons of biomass briquettes. Our goal is to expand beyond Nairobi into other cities in Kenya. So we're already around the coast in Kilifi, and also actively looking to expand into Kisumu, and then beyond that into other African countries. So actively evaluating expansion into Rwanda, Uganda, Morocco, Egypt, Nigeria, and Ghana as being places that we think this technology would be useful for people for those cities with regards to solving the waste management challenge, but really using circularity and a BSF technology as well as other technologies to really create value on the end products. Cool. Yeah. So the opportunity really here is for scale. Really here is around the regulatory environment that enables us to scale into well beyond Nairobi, into other cities and into Africa. In Nairobi, at least, we have significant backing from the government. The picture you're seeing in front of you was the deputy governor, the deputy DDG. DDG is Deputy Director General of the Nairobi Metropolitan Services, which is basically the arm that runs services in Nairobi, visiting our site. So immense support from them, immense support from NEMA, the National Environmental Management Agency, significant support as well that we have from product certification bodies around Nairobi, as well as local governments. Yeah. So just to highlight that for us to expand into other cities and other countries basically will need to carry the goodwill of the government bodies and government arms that run various departments in those cities. So yeah, so asante, which is Kiswahili for thank you very much. And yeah, it's been great. It'll be good to get questions from you. I think at an opportune time and to interact with you. Thanks.